Good evening, wrestling fans. I'm Louis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling, along with
Jay, the heel kid of pro wrestling.
And this is Evolution of Pro Wrestling.
Boy, do we got a special topic for y'all tonight. You know, for the people that's been previously watching, you already know, but right now, I hope all of you are having a good evening. You know, I hope you got your popcorn. I hope you got your juice. I hope you got your ice cream. Whatever you eating, I hope you nice and kick back because it's about to be a show for the books, man. But before we get into that, we're going to start with wrestling news.
Wrestling's top news in professional wrestling all over. Everything that's been happening on Monday Night Raw, SmackDown,
everything.
TNA, AEW.
The wrestling world in general. Just the wrestling world,
That's
world.
right.
So something that's really been happening right now is currently there's speculations and there's talk that Seth Rollins supposedly got injured. Seth Rollins got injured with his fight with Jinder Mahal. Dad, what you think about that?
Well, that's a big blow to the WWE because he's pretty much their go-to guy right now. Russell James, what's going on, fellas? How's it going? Brian Kobe, welcome. I'm out. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Jay's hosting today. Tonight, like he mentioned about Seth Rollins, it's tragic because Seth Rollins is at his prime right now. He's like going in.
He is
to the point that he's like really.
He's there. He's
the primary champion.
He's at the top of his game
right now. And then again, Rollins is their bread and butter. It's their bread and butter.
Exactly.
You know, but unfortunately, you know, he did get hurt.
And
it's quite possible he might need to relinquish the title. Jaden, what are your thoughts on if he possibly has to forfeit that title?
Man, that would be a very low blow for WWE because, you know, he really is in the prime of his game, and Seth Rollins has, you know, been carrying this title. He's been doing really good carrying this title. So for us to see him relinquish that title would be a very low blow for the WWE.
Hard Truth leads in merchandise here. Merchandise sales.
Hard Truth does lead in merchandise, but hopefully he's not injured. Hopefully he's okay. And some more interesting news is Jim Ross AEW contract renewal still remains pending. What is he gonna do?
That means he might not want to sign.
He might not want to sign.
You know, listen, AEW is becoming this territory now that it's more less people. Mike Weldon, welcome to our show, sir. First timer that we've seen him. Thank you. I'm the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling, Louis, and this is the heel kid of pro wrestling.
Nice to meet you.
We're gonna get to our topic tonight, but as my son mentioned, we're doing current events and current news. Jaden, what a Monday Night Raw!
What a
and a
Monday
SmackDown
Night
last
Raw
week when like the match itself, the card itself was awesome.
The card was amazing. Oh,
like
yeah,
you had pretty much what was it? Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest going at it. Damian Priest almost cashed in. I thought Jinder Mahal should have won, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yes, we EPW. We are Evolution of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, with EPW. Yes,
we are. Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Yes. What you call it? We looked at the card and to me it's getting better and better every single show. Like the storylines are getting better on SmackDown, they're getting better on Raw.
Everywhere,
look at when the Bloodline got demolished on Friday.
I'm about to say they got attacked.
He put him through a table.
Table.
They put Solo Sikoa on the table.
They absolutely destroyed them. They beat them to oblivion, man. Like, that's crazy. But, you know, that is also a good thing, though, because now, since this little attack happened, we're going to expect some interesting things going on in the Royal Rumble. So, I'm looking forward to seeing.
I'm sorry, is that out of Boomville, MS? No. I'm not sure what you're saying, sir. But yes, continue. Go ahead, Jada.
Oh yeah, like I was saying, there was like I said, we're gonna expect a lot of good and crazy things going on in the Royal Rumble this year. I'm excited for the Royal Rumble. I'm really excited for the Royal Rumble, man. And there's gonna be a lot of crazy things going on. Like for example, supposedly there's supposed to be a huge contract signing for a triple threat match.
No, it's a fatal four-way.
Fatal four-way. There's a contract signing for all four of them, and of course, you know, Roman is gonna defend his title, and he's probably gonna win. But
says, hey, I'm getting to start my own promotion called Bawa. Oh, interesting. Hey, we got an open platform. If you guys want to come on for an interview, bring on your talent. By all means, send us a chat and we'll answer that. Roman, my lovely wife and producer, you're saying that she loves Roman, huge Roman fan. It's gonna be Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles this Friday in a contract signing tomorrow.
He can win. He can win.
Of course he's gonna win.
Of course he's gonna win.
Listen, he's gonna win. He's gonna win, and of course he's gonna defend the title at Mania or someplace.
Yep.
But I really don't want The Rock and him to fight for the title. No, I don't. Keep it, the head of the table.
That would have to be the most outrageous thing Triple H could ever do. That would be insane. Bad Attitude Wrestling Alliance.
Bad Attitude Wrestling. Oh, that's an interesting name, man.
That is.
Like I said, hit us up. No, not to be rude or anything, but hit us up during the chat after the show. We'll discuss more about that later, okay? But we're
or in RKO's
wrestling news, and stuff like that. But we appreciate you guys reaching out. Reach out, send us a private message once the show is done, and we'll keep in contact with you guys. But
RKO, I don't know.
Or in Roman Reigns, I can see it happening.
I can see it happening on everybody in this match.
I can see it happening. No, but listen, that's gonna be a hell of a match.
Oh yeah,
that fatal 4-way is gonna be a hell of a match. And the Royal Rumble, I'm hyped for the Royal Rumble because you don't know who's gonna be.
I'm calling it right now. Damian Priest is gonna cash in the Royal Rumble.
Really?
I'm calling that right now. Damian Priest is gonna cash in the Royal Rumble.
That's a bold statement.
I feel like he's gonna cash in. I just feel like the way put it together. This is not his first time trying to cash in and almost completing it. He's either gonna cash in at the Royal Rumble or he's gonna wait all the way until Mania. And my pick is the Royal Rumble. I think he's gonna cash in at the Royal Rumble.
Well, let's see, because it's gonna be something. It's definitely gonna be because
something is definitely.
Okay,
mark my words.
Listen,
something is definitely.
Everybody's saying that. He said, I think he might.
Why not cash it in Mania?
That's true.
That's
true.
true. That's what I'm saying. I just got a weird feeling that he's gonna cash it in at the Rumble. I would prefer Mania, but I just feel like he's genuinely gonna cash it in.
Okay.
Genuinely gonna cash it in.
Well, listen. There's been a lot going on also again with Tony Khan and AEW. Like AEW, listen, I watched AEW yesterday, and they had a pretty decent match, a pretty decent couple of matches. But you gotta get these things. Rumors are Gunther and Solo at Mania. That would be a battle. That would be a fearless battle.
Who you got winning that though?
Gunther all the way.
You got Gunther
all the way. But that would be a brutal fucking match. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Did I say fucking? I'm sorry. That's because we are MA, mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Fucking it. Listen, people can't be sleeping on TNA anymore.
No, listen,
TNA has been good.
TNA is coming up. TNA
has been getting more and more better since Booker
Bosa activated.
No, for real though, TNA has been getting very, very good recently.
No, TNA. Listen, the merger with TNA now with TKO opens up a lot of things to come. TNA Hard to Kill. Okay, let me throw something out there. We mentioned AEW, and I want to throw this out there because it was a touching scene last night. Mark Briscoe did a tribute for his brother, Jay Briscoe, who passed away a year ago due to a car accident. Yep. At that point, doctors told him his niece wasn't going to walk again due to the accident that they were in. Thank the Lord, because no one can say, no doctor has any say. Thank the Lord that this young girl was able to walk again.
Oh, yeah.
And she was on TV with Mark Briscoe and his nephews. And that was a very heart-touching thing yesterday. TNA being back will hopefully make AEW better. I hope so. I hope so, man. Because they got to step it up, man. Like this shit,
time, man.
This shit with Tony Storm. What are you doing? Tears came out when they had the spot. Yeah, man.
That's a really.
I got a little teary out myself because that's tough.
That's it.
When a doctor tells you that your niece ain't gonna walk again, and then boom, she walks up right in the stage with you on wrestling.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. That's a blessing from God. You know what I mean?
Man. Amen to her.
But Mark Briscoe and his brother were an excellent tag team.
Oh yeah, of course,
awesome. You know what I mean? Oh, that's another thing. Ziggler and Jack Perry in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Man,
like
putting Ziggler in New Japan was so amazing, man. I feel like he fits perfectly in New Japan.
Like I like this thing going on now.
Perfectly in New Japan.
I like the way where this is going with these talent. They out of WWE. Okay, the same thing happened with Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. They went on to fix themselves, reinvent themselves. I agree, James. Mark Briscoe should be TNT champion. I'm sorry, I got a little tongue tied there.
He should be TNT. Yeah, I agree. He definitely.
But it's AEW has to.
He's a Briscoe, man.
Listen, AEW has to come out of the woodwork. You gotta do better. You gotta do better storylines. You gotta get better. I'm about to say,
you're not gonna pass WWE
stop trying
doing what you're doing right now.
No. You're doing what WCW did. WCW was getting all of the WWE stars, and then
now, Dad, I do got a question for you about that. So let's just say AEW does keep going this route and doesn't become positive. Do you see them becoming the next WCW, getting canceled?
No. I don't see them getting canceled, but I see them turning into a smaller revenue like NWA. That's the way I see it. But that's the good question. Rumors everywhere. Andrade is it AEW or WWE? Apparently he wants to leave and he's gone.
Isn't he? He is in AEW already, right?
Yeah, but apparently his contract is done.
That means he could go anywhere.
The Young Bucks going full heel. Hey, you need to let them be. Give them that character.
Let them be their own character.
That's what makes the star. That's what makes a star that comes up.
Warner Bros. Will bring Raw to TNT and bump AEW.
Well,
you're right about that.
That would be.
You
said, did y'all see the Young Bucks going corporate? Yeah, I saw that.
The Young Bucks.
I saw that. That's what I'm saying. Like, do some unique storylines. You know what I mean? Like, get people.
Like, make it different.
Make it different. Like,
get people out of the seats, man. Like, make them like how you used to make the storylines. Like, to the point where like it felt like we were in the storyline too. Like, to the point where we hated this character so much that we wanted to fight this character just as much as what was going on in the ring.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Nowadays, they're not like that anymore. They're just, let's do this, little mic battle, and then they fight. There's nothing to it anymore. There's no story behind it anymore.
Nope.
And that's what takes the fun.
But that's what I'm saying. That they are acting like McMahon. Exactly. Because McMahon was stuck in the old times.
Definitely
he was stuck. This is good shit. Like, no, you gotta catch up with the times. You gotta do certain things that you need to do.
Definitely, yeah.
So, but when you talk about times, we're gonna talk about something that goes that there's one person in this topic that is before our time, and there are a few that many of you know. Jaden, please present our topic of the night, sir.
Okay, the topic of the night is the dark side of dark side of evolution. I said that right. Okay, just have to make sure I didn't get my tongue twisted. The dark side of evolution. Part 3. This is actually part 3 of the Dark Side of Evolution. If you guys haven't tuned into the last 2 parts, go tune in.
Yes, and please feel free to share our content all over social media. Yes. Bring your friends, your cousins, everybody.
Share over here.
Samoa Joe is a great champion, but his time is over.
Yes,
he's not meant to be world champion. I'm sorry.
Who was,
Samoa Joe. I'm sorry. No. He in his prime before, yes,
but right now,
no. Like my man, that's it. Take the TNT championship, whatever.
I have to say, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, but give up the heavyweight title. Yeah. But these people we're about to mention right now have done so much for the business that it's like, where do you begin? Like, where do you begin with how their career started, how it ended,
how they made an impact on the business?
Yeah, I don't think his reign will last either. Sorry.
It's how they impacted the business, how they set a trend for the new generation. A lot of these people, majority right here, they set a lot of stones for the WWE.
Okay, man. So Jada,
just for a lot of wrestlers,
who is our first person that we're gonna mention right now?
Who would you like to do first?
Well, we're just gonna go with it. And you guys can mention anybody else too.
Well,
MJF, AEW, or WWE? Before we get into that, we're going to answer this question.
All right.
I would say WWE.
I agree.
But that's only if Triple H does the right thing. Don't fuck him up and say, let's bring him in and say, promise him this and promise him that, and then they just kill his entire character.
I don't think Triple H would do something.
Because to me, MJF reminds me of a young, modern day Gino Hernandez. If he wants money, WWE. Exactly. Right. If he wants the money.
If he wants the money, yeah.
If he wants the money.
If he wants the money.
But
if he wants the money.
It's gonna be interesting to see where this year comes and with all the contracts coming up, and then all the rumors of these people returning to the WWE and Royal Rumble. It's gonna be an interesting year in professional wrestling. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, of course.
But the people we're gonna talk about tonight is the infamous and always controversial Paul Heyman.
Oh yeah.
Can we see MJF dethrone Gunther?
That's an
interesting question.
Very big what if.
Give me a faction in WWE. Cody, MJF, Spears, and Cardona and Starks all in one heel faction.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome faction. That would be an awesome faction. And you know what's crazy?
Amazing.
We were about to mention the guys that we're gonna talk about in Evolution of the Dark Side of Evolution. Paul Heyman has managed many factions in his era.
Factions and people. He's
4 decades of knowledge.
For real.
4
decades.
That man is an evil freaking genius. I mean, he can turn manure into gold. Shit into gold. For real.
No, he really could though. He really could.
He pretty much took Curtis Axel and turned him into an intercontinental champion like that, but they got tired of him. They killed him. Vince McMahon killed his character. If Triple H was in charge of that would have been great. This man
he would have been
probably could have went to a higher level.
Of course, he definitely could have. He had potential too.
Of course, he had potential.
He had potential, but of course, Mr. You're fired.
Chicken shit into chicken salad. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what he was able to do.
Interesting way to put it.
No, but he's right. That was the way. That's how you do it, and that's what he was able to do. This dude took ECW to new heights, of the likes.
I mean, hey, look at Rob Van Dam. He basically made him a WWE champion. He beat John Cena for the WWE title, and he had Paul Heyman on his side.
Heyman built ECW, and Vince stole the ideas with bigger stars. He did. That's what I'm saying.
He did.
He made stars. He made RVD. He made Raven. He made Tommy Dreamer. Sandman. He said, "Hey, man, he's an all-around Hall of Famer." Absolutely,
he is, man.
Absolutely,
he really is.
He was ECW 2.0 Attitude Era. What's the Attitude Era?
Wow,
exactly.
That's crazy.
It made no sense to me. Why?
Because it doesn't make any sense. But yet again, I guess you just basically gotta kind of think of it from a business standpoint. Because WWE was also it wasn't so although he did take ideas.
Oh yeah.
WWE was still really popular at the time.
No, but that was his baby though. ECW was his.
That was his, and that's what that is true. That's why I said, it's like
Heyman needs to be entered into the Hall of Fame this year. I agree.
I'm really surprised that Paul Heyman is not in the Hall of Fame.
The way this man portrays the wise man for Roman Reigns and the Tribal Chief, that shit is hilarious. Yes, my Tribal Chief.
Yes, my Tribal Chief.
Absolutely, my Tribal Chief. He knows how to play. He knows how to
play the man.
He knows. He gets it.
I'm not gonna lie. You could put Paul Heyman with just about anybody, and he'll kill it.
Oh, absolutely,
he'll kill it.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw
him with anyone.
You saw what happened when he was with CM Punk. He made CM Punk a star.
He definitely made CM Punk a star for sure.
He made
CM Punk a star. He's managed people like Kurt Angle.
Yeah, let him cut his induction speech from Bingo from the Bingo Hall.
From Bingo Hall. That's funny.
That's where his first event was.
The Bingo Hall.
The Bingo Hall. It was a small area like Monday Night Raw, and he should be who should induct him?
Hall of Fame.
Wow.
He should induct him in the Hall of Fame.
That's tough. That's a tough.
Wow.
I would honestly say, in my opinion, Taz.
Taz?
Yeah.
Why so?
He made Taz the star he was. But he could have made Bastion Booger famous. You're right.
He really could have made anybody famous.
He could have. Excuse me, I'm under the weather, guys. I apologize.
Everybody knows the moment you get Paul Heyman by your wing, man. There's
no stopping.
I'm not gonna lie though. Every person I've seen that's been a Paul Heyman guy has had an amazing career.
Absolutely.
At least one time in their life, they were at their prime with Paul Heyman at their side. So Paul Heyman, like, even if you don't be a Paul Heyman man after that, Paul Heyman is a game changer.
Let the top 3 ECW wrestlers induct Heyman. Who would that be though? Who would those top 3 wrestlers be?
Who do you think are the top 3, Padrino Brian?
Here you go. Okay, here's James. He says, I do a collective group of Taz, Dudley, Dreamer, and I don't know about Dreamer though.
I would do
Dreamer
RVD
wanted to kill him.
Wait,
like
what?
literally, he wanted to kill. Yeah, he wanted to kill him.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, Freddie King. Welcome, Freddie. Thank you for joining us. He says, I heard Heyman absurd all the things he learned from Freddie Blassie, Lou Albano, Jimmy Hart, and all the other 80s managers he learned from. I say Tommy Dreamer inducts him into the Hall of Fame as they were very close in ECW. Well, that's true. That's true. You know, he probably got over that. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, it's business.
Things happen.
Business.
Things, you know.
I mean, he wanted to kill the guy.
But Paul Heyman, at the time, crazy. To me, one of my best times that I saw Paul Heyman when he was managing a faction. You know, now it's hilarious with the Bloodline. With the Bloodline. But I remember the Delhi Alliance in WCW. God, the Delhi Alliance was amazing. That faction was great, off the hook.
Man. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Me too.
I enjoyed it every minute of it when he was managing, because you had the likes Bischoff and Heyman go back to the AWA. Yeah, that's how back they go. That he was in AWA first. Taz, Joey Styles, and maybe someone Austin. Maybe.
Did he ever manage Stone Cold?
He didn't. Yeah, in the Delhi Alliance.
Oh,
he was part of the Delhi Alliance.
I thought that was like a single.
And mind you,
you're right.
Mind you, Paul Heyman. This was a story that happened with Stone Cold Steve Austin's biography. Paul Heyman had found out that Stone Cold got fired by the WCW via fax. So he was injured at the time. So he said, okay. He called him. He said, hey. He said, what about you coming down? You know, to ECW, whatever. And he says, I can't work. I'm injured. He said, okay. Can you talk? Just like that. Can you talk? Sure, I could talk. You know I could talk all fucking day. That's what he did. He cut promos. He went in on WCW. Talking mad shit to WCW. Austin's first beer was in ECW.
Wow.
Taker, remember, as Mean Mark. He managed me. Paul Heyman managed Mean Mark.
Yeah.
Like,
wow, man.
Paul Heyman did so much. He's
been around for quite a few decades. He's really like managed like generations of wrestlers.
Okay, so Jaden, let me ask you a question. In your opinion, if you had the choice to pick a superstar from today that you've seen, who do you think you would want him to manage?
Somebody that I would want him to manage. This is probably an odd one, but Drew McIntyre. This is probably I know it sounds really odd, but the way I think about I think about it is
I can actually
Drew
see
McIntyre being a heel, and he's not the.
What about you guys?
He's not the talker anymore. He's just a powerhouse. You know, Paul Heyman does all the talking for him. You know, he has the mic skills, while Drew McIntyre is the muscle, and you know gets the job done.
Read that comment, Jay.
I like to manage Lexus. I'd like him to manage Lexus King. All right, Lexus King is a good one. Oh my. All right. Why do you say Lexus King? I'm intrigued by why you say Lexus King.
I
met Heyman.
I like that idea.
Today's man in Central Ave. I rang him up at register when he was buying a tie.
Oh wow!
Wow, nice. That's crazy.
Nice.
I know that was cool.
Very cool, man.
Heyman Midnight Express versus Jim Cornette.
Oh man, that was crazy.
Oh, that was
crazy. Like Jim Cornette alone is he's an asshole. Man. He's an asshole, but he's a genius.
He is.
You know what I mean? But it's Heyman to me, and I know this is going to be crazy. Who I'm going to say I wanted him to manage, but I can see it. Randy Orton.
That's Interesting.
I like Jaden's idea a lot. Let McIntyre go back to the cyborg heel mode
when he was with Dolph Ziggler. Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Man, New Dangerous Alliance: Theory, Wilder, King, and Bailey. Wow. I like that idea.
Me too.
I like that idea.
Hang
because
on.
I'm sure the bloodline is going to end soon, and they're going to put Paul Heyman in another faction.
Oh, of course.
So you can't let that. You got to keep that man for real.
They're definitely going to put him.
Unless he's going to retire. You need to keep that man.
He hasn't said anything about his retiring. How about Heyman managing McIntyre? See, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that agree with it.
Yeah.
Heyman and McIntyre would do some justice for the business. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I'm saying, man.
I agree.
They would definitely do some justice for the business, man.
I agree.
I would love to see that.
Heyman and heel Cody. That would be good too.
That would be a nice one.
That would be a nice one too.
That would be a nice one.
I could see that. I could see those two hitting it off pretty good.
Definitely.
You know, but
Cody right now he's in his face era at the moment.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Paul Heyman made history in professional wrestling many times.
Multiple times, man.
He says, so out of all the female talent we have, who could we see Heyman managing?
I could honestly see him managing Bailey as a solo wrestler. Matter of fact, I could see him managing Asuka as well. Mm-hmm. She doesn't talk. Asuka's a high. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a super big brawling.
That's a good one right there. Kevin Owens.
That's
Kevin Owens.
That's a good one.
Out of the women, I would have to say, honestly, Selena Vega.
Heyman could manage.
Yeah.
He definitely could manage Nakamura for sure.
I'm loving the Nakamura promos, man.
Nakamura and Cody
the promo he had this past Monday.
That shocked me, especially since Nakamura never really spoke on the mic that much.
Bailey is not a bad idea either.
I said Bailey.
Shayna Baszler.
Oh, Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler. Oh, man. You guys are mentioning all this female talent, man. Which brings us to the next person that made history.
Oh, man.
By entering, not once, but twice. Made history by first entering the Royal Rumble in 1999. The first female to enter the Royal Rumble. And the first female to win the Intercontinental title. Chyna. The ninth wonder of the world.
Yes, there you go. Imagine Heyman managing Chyna. Wow, Chyna. Imagine.
Chyna, unfortunately, it sucks that she let her demons get to her.
Yeah,
but
man.
In the ring, she was
man.
a badass.
Amazing.
When she first came onto the scene with DX, with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, that shit was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
But she also made history other ways, laughing out loud. We're not going to mention that. Leave that out of it. So.
Oh, goodness.
We leave that out of it.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
No, we're not going to talk about that. But yes, she's done a lot in professional wrestling. When she first started with DX, it was her and Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship.
I'm not gonna lie, it was alright. Like seeing those two for the
Chyna definitely developed into a good wrestler.
She definitely did. That's why I said at first when I first seen that, I was like, of course that was
wow. Cut it out. Cut that shit out.
Chyna wasn't around my time, but I didn't know who she was.
She was this mammoth woman.
No. I know who Chyna is now. I know who she is now. She was a bodybuilder.
If she was in this era,
Chyna was bodybuilder.
I would have loved to see her go up against Rhea Ripley.
You just took the words right out of my mouth.
Her and Eddie were great. Hell yeah, they were great.
Oh yeah, her and Eddie was amazing.
When he was Latino, he mamacita. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
He said, come here, my little chiquitita. I'm like, yo. And she was going like, I'm like what? They didn't even match, but it was hilarious.
So funny to watch, though, because it's like
Chyna versus Nia. Oh man.
Oh, that would be insane. What about Chyna versus what's that woman's name that I'm looking for? Dang it, I forgot her name.
Who?
I forgot her name. Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair.
Chyna versus Bianca Belair. That's the word.
Belair's strong.
Bianca Belair is that's what I'm saying. Chyna versus Bianca Belair would be oh man, that'd be a battle.
Oh man, he said, remember when she bear hugged Melinda like a rag? Yeah, like a rag doll. She just flung her like back and forth, and I'm like, oh shit.
Chyna versus Beth Phoenix was a good one.
No, they never fought. They never fought. No, they never fought.
I thought they did.
No,
I'm thinking of the wrong wrestler.
I don't think they did.
I'm thinking of Trish. I think Trish Stratus was the one.
She fought. She fought
Trish Stratus. Sorry, I'm thinking of Trish Stratus. I'm sorry.
Trish Stratus. She fought many women.
She fought many women, but Trish Stratus was the one I'm thinking for.
No, but it's a Chyna versus Neidhart. Versus Austin. Austin stunned her in the Royal Rumble and eliminated her.
He did, man. I mean, that was the first time she appeared in the Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah. Yep. That shit was funny though.
Oh my, that was.
It was funny. She fought Lita. Yeah, she fought Lita.
What do you guys think about that? Though?
It was a pretty good match. You know, because like I said, at the time, Chyna was a powerhouse. She was a bodyguard for DX, you know what I mean? And then she joined the next DX with Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, X-Pac, and Triple H, which to me was a more upbeat.
It was definitely more upbeat.
A more upbeat DX than the first one.
Of course.
But the first one was more controversial, in my opinion. Because all the shit that was happening.
It was better. That was my favorite version, too.
Yeah.
The first version of DX was my favorite version.
Excuse me. And she was a powerhouse. Like she
was literally a bodybuilder. Like that was the thing that she did before wrestling. That was literally what she did out of wrestling. She was literally a bodybuilder. Like she was like that.
Yeah, no, hell no. Like there were certain men that couldn't even.
She could probably kick me through the glass door or something.
But there was one man that was lethal in professional wrestling. This man was known as a storm.
Oh yeah.
This man was known as a gorilla. Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody was fucking psycho.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Bruiser Brody is in my top 10 of wrestlers who had most potential. I think Bruiser Brody is top 5 there. Bruiser Brody. If Bruiser Brody was still here, Bruiser Brody would have been. Oh, man. Bruiser Brody has so much potential, man. It's really crazy how he went out, man. Bruiser Brody already at the start of his career. Bruiser Brody was already already causing controversy.
Bruiser Brody, especially when Bruiser Brody had the biggest rivalry with Abdullah the Butcher. Like it was a bloodbath. Man. It was a bloodbath. Like they said in the documentary, when you Kobe, come in, join us. Welcome for coming, Mama. We pretty much when we see Bruiser Brody, it's like Tony Atlas said, it's like danger coming at you.
It was,
and it's also like a tornado that's dangerous, but you want to see it. You still want to see it because he was that damn good.
I will always say to this day, he was the only man I know who made a crowd run away when he would be coming out. He's the only person who would make people scatter away from him when he was coming out the ring. Only person I've known to do that so far in the wrestling.
He was very famous in Japan.
Oh yeah,
very famous in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Hello, ¿qué pasa? Jeremy Afefe, welcome.
Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he had a tag team with Stan Hansen in Japan.
Yeah, he said, Bradley says, I just saw Bruiser Brody in a cage match with Abdullah the Butcher and the other great guys. Check out War Games 87 with his name. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Yo. For those of you tuning in, tonight's show is The Dark Side of Evolution Part 3. Paul Heyman, Chyna, Bruiser Brody, and the McMahon family. The McMahons. So, if you guys had a chance to pick one star out of any era to have a feud with Bruiser Brody, who would it be? Someone new that he's never fought.
Gunther.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Because those two are powerhouses right now. Like Gunther is currently at the top of his game. He's in his prime right now, you know what I mean? And back then, Bruiser Brody was also at his prime too. We seen him at almost getting to the peak of his prime. And you know, if he was still here, he probably would have did so much more. And both of those two it's like you're putting two titans in the ring with each other. And you know, both of them are really strong. And it seems like both of them don't care to take a little hit. So it's like it's gonna be like a two titans battling off in the ring. So I want to see those two going at it.
Hell yeah.
Gunther and Bruiser Brody.
Well, remember, Bruiser
Brody Lee.
Rest in peace, the exact image, yeah.
Brody Lee would be a good one, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Brody Lee would have been amazing. Brody Lee was awesome, man. Oh, yeah. Listen, Bruiser Brody did a lot of professional. In All Japan Pro Wrestling, he was the NWA International Heavyweight Champion.
He was.
He was in NWA National Wrestling Federation. He was in WCCW, World Class Championship Wrestling. Which was War Games is that he got... the electric chair, that was 1992. That was Abdullah the Butcher. That was in Halloween Havoc.
That wasn't. I think I seen that.
Halloween.
Too.
That was I loved it.
I'm pretty sure I
loved the
seen
match. Like Bruiser Brody, when he went to World Class Championship Wrestling,
Butcher.
It was like damn. But his most heated rivalries were in Puerto Rico. World Wrestling Council. Which was brutal.
It was very brutal.
That shit was brutal because they loved was pain.
I'm about to say they didn't care what kind of pain.
No.
If you couldn't take it, then you weren't meant for it.
No, for real. They didn't care. They just wanted to see blood.
I'm about to say they literally wanted to see blood.
Like Luger versus Brody, no cell. Oh shit. Luger ran out of that steel cage. Was scared out his mind. Oh yes, you're right.
He was literally scared. He was literally scared.
Like my man,
he was literally scared, man.
And Jeremy knows. He said, "Oh yes, you're right." Like, because he knows in Puerto Rico, that's how they like. That's what they do. He was popular there. He was popular in Japan.
He was for sure.
And he was making a lot of money in Japan. He said it that he wanted to buy the organization in Puerto Rico. He did, but they weren't going to allow it. And they said the first thing he was going to do was get rid of Jose, which was the Invader.
Yep, the Invader.
And that had a problem. Tony Atlas says he saw the knife. Tony Atlas says he saw this and that.
No.
We have other versions. I don't know.
I don't believe that. Tony Atlas's story, from the videos I've seen and from the things I've seen, his story has never changed. He continues with the same story every single time.
It might be possible.
And if you can remember that story every single time you have to tell it to somebody, there's no way you could be lying about it.
Yeah, well, like
I said, of course, we don't know what happened for sure, but
that happened.
It really is.
Damn, that's a good one. Bruiser Brody against Brock Lesnar.
Younger version.
That
Brock
would
Lesnar
be
at his prime.
That would be epic. What about you, Jay? You said Gunther. No, that would be a good one. That would be a good one. Mine's, I would honestly have to say, and this is a tough one. Shit. I'm torn. I'm torn between two people. I'm torn between Terry Funk in his prime.
By the way, Jaden, another Dark Side of the Ring. Oh, I seen that one, Jeremy. I seen his Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, he saw Bruiser Brody.
That was the first one I actually watched. That's how I got introduced to the Dark Side of the Ring. His was really good.
I'm torn between Terry Funk and Mick Foley.
I'm gonna go with Mick Foley. Like, if I already choose mine.
And knowing Mick, he will sell the hell out of Bruiser Brody's
between those, I feel like him and Mick Foley and Bruiser Brody would be like a rivalry for the decades. Like, I promise you, if those two were to start a rivalry, that would probably be in the book of WWE or something. Like, that would be talked about for generations.
See, Foley.
That would be talked about for generations.
That match would, even Foley said it in the documentary that he wanted to face him in the ring.
Man.
And it was unfortunate that he couldn't face him. You know what I mean? And it sucked.
Terrible, man.
Oh man, Big Van Vader and Brody in New Japan.
I forgot those two went against each other.
Van Vader was epic, man.
Oh yeah, he was a big.
Oh shit,
he was.
And Dutch Mantel said he never fought Bruiser Brody because he said they asked him. He said, "Why'd you never fight Brody?" He said, "Because he beat the shit out of you." He said it just like that. He'll beat the shit out of you because that's what Brody does. Brody is he doesn't care.
He doesn't.
He was on it. He said, shout out Lewis, Jaden Boy. Hey, Clyde, thank you, sir. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, man.
He went there with the purpose to get money and go back home to his family. That's all he cared about. Yeah. He didn't care to sell for you. Man, he was making the money for his family.
He made an impact. Really made an impact around professional wrestling.
I'm about to say, mind you, he wasn't even that super duper long into his career.
And imagine if he was.
He was already in his prime. Imagine if he was still here living to this very day. He would be. He would already be a more of a legend than he already is.
To me, in my opinion, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
He's not
no honorary, legendary remembrance.
I thought he was in the Hall of Fame already.
I mean Hall of Fame, like WWE Hall of Fame. They need let his wife come accept it in the Hall of Fame.
They need to induct him in the Hall of Fame.
So
ASAP.
But here's a question for you. Do you think this man, this person we're about to mention right now, should be inducted in the Hall of Fame alone? But should he mention his family, which we're about to mention the most controversial, most devious, damn wrestling family there is? The McMahon family. Stephanie, Shane, and Vince McMahon. Good shit. Jaden.
Dad. Oh, hi.
Lead away.
The McMahon family. Man, they have so much good and bad things about them. Well, let's keep it honest here.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it a buck.
You talk the way you like.
Let's keep it a buck. You know, let's keep it 100. You feel me? But for real, let's keep it for real though. Like WWE wouldn't be as popular without the McMahons. If it wasn't for the McMahons, there would be no wrestling. And I gotta give Vince his credit. I gotta give him his credit. He's made a lot of wrestlers who they are today. But he was also in charge of attempting to destroy his own company as well. And
why do you think that?
Why do I think that?
Please explain that to me.
Because Vince McMahon, I feel like Vince McMahon was destroying his own company because at a point, he stopped caring about the stories. He stopped caring about his wrestlers. He stopped caring about his workers. All he cared about was the money. So as long as they were bringing money into the table, he didn't care what was going on anymore. And that's why people stopped watching WWE because it became garbage. No one liked it anymore. Like you had the only thing that was probably like relevant here and there was like, you know, a few times where they would do things that were like, okay, this is not bad. But other than that, Vince was always trying to destroy it. And unfortunately, Shane has done the same thing once when he put himself in the Royal Rumble as a return, thinking everybody was going to be, oh, yeah, Shane!
That was ridiculous.
And nobody cheered him at all. And then he comes into
Tyler was pissed off about that shit.
Seriously, man. That's what I was saying.
So Shane should have run WCW and Stephanie run ECW. It was a shit show at that time. Like the storylines were pretty good, but then it got soft after a while, and then that's when they ended the invasion. Brian says Vince doesn't like to be put on the spot based on past interviews, so I do see his Hall of Fame entry happening after he's passed. That is quite possible. It's quite possible. He doesn't like to be in the spotlight. I think actually I saw a video on YouTube yesterday of The Undertaker, you know, the last ride. What they were questioning Vince McMahon as to what does The Undertaker mean to you in the WWE star and personally. Mm-hmm. The man broke down. He went like he told the cameraman cut and said, "I can't do it. Like you can't do it."
Why though?
Because they're very close. Oh. Undertaker and Vince McMahon are very close friends. Mm-hmm. Like very, very close friends. And like we could say it, Vince McMahon made The Undertaker.
He did.
He made Mark Calloway.
He really did.
You know what I mean? True, his son and daughter went against him. Exactly.
They did.
Exactly. You know, really and it's like Shane. Best story is when him and Kane or Tess with Kane.
I'm not gonna lie. I like
Kane electrocuted his balls.
I liked his story with. His story with Kane was amazing.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite matches by him was probably the match with him and Kurt Angle in King of the Ring 2001 in a street fight.
Yes, when he
suplexed him through the glass.
Well, it took him a while because he failed himself twice.
It failed the first time.
He snuck his head on the floor. I know that shit hurt in concrete.
I heard that match between those two was brutal.
Yeah, no, it was. It was brutal.
I heard like brutal. I think I heard
huevos.
I heard Shane McMahon explaining it, and I think he said when he dropped Kurt Angle or something, or somebody dropped. Oh, you heard it was
suplex 3 times. Yeah, suplex.
You heard one of them lose the air the windpipe.
That shit was.
They couldn't breathe.
Man, it was a brutal battle, but it was a hell of a battle.
Suplex 3 times is
But to me, I will always love the rivalry with Vince McMahon and Stone Cold. Holy shit.
That's probably one of the...
You're fired.
You're
fired. Oh, man. He's Austin, you suck.
Vince wanted to stop the match. I know he definitely did.
Yeah.
They finished it, though. I mean,
they finished it, because he was getting the shit kicked out of him.
They both were. That wasn't just a one-sided match. They was beating the life out of each other.
It was crazy.
Definitely not a one-sided match. That was a match for most of them.
I think Vince McMahon did what he did because in his eyes, if I can do it, it's fair game.
It is.
If I get embarrassed, pretty much he will go past that limit to shatter himself first, like embarrass himself more to prove a point. Like if I can do it, it's fair game, so you can do it too.
Yeah.
If I can put my face in somebody's ass, you could do something else too.
I can't believe he actually did that.
He did it for business.
I can't believe it.
He did it for his business.
I mean, it got the money. It got the money and it got the attention. Not only did it just get the money.
Yeah, it was. It was the first boss. It was the first boss versus employee rivalry, and it was freaking hilarious.
It definitely was.
Like it was like
another rivalry that was good for Vince McMahon was the one with DX as well.
Yeah, that shit was
McMahon.
funny.
It was hilarious.
I love Cox.
They were absolutely violating the life out of this man.
They were messing with his mic. He said, "I sound like Darth Vader."
You people think this is funny?
See, it was a chipmunk. He sounded like a chipmunk.
And then it was extremely hilarious when Shawn Michaels and Triple H were imitating him in the ring. They were imitating him in Shane.
He said, "I just wanna,
I'm dancing, Dad. I'm dancing." Stop it.
That shit was hilarious. So I was just about to say that.
I'm gonna watch it after the show is over. Right after this show is over, I'm gonna watch it, man, because that crap is way too funny.
Oh man, making fun of the McMahons. That shit was hilarious, bro.
I'm dancing, Dad. I'm dancing.
Oh shit. That was hilarious. I want to see it, but it's a 9 minute video. But that shit was hilarious, and it was great because
it was great.
It made the rivalry so good. Man. Rikishi versus Yokozuna battle of the boiled egg. What?
The boiled egg?
Boiled egg? No.
That's crazy.
But yeah, no, I gotta watch that shit again.
Me too.
Because that joint was hilarious. That joint was hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh, he says he said something about he said my daughter married such and such. He said I have a big package, but this guy he must have. He's like, no, don't say. He's saying don't say that. I was like, oh shit, like it was a good time at that time to be a fan.
Yeah, but unfortunately that probably won't pass nowadays.
No, absolutely not. Too many sensitive people.
Nope.
Too many damn sensitive people.
Many.
Everybody reporting shit. You can't do that. You can't say that. You can't say bitch. I'm being for real.
It's so unfortunate, but it's so true.
But it's true.
It's so true.
It's too I don't understand. You're like, listen.
So
I know this is all. I know this is off topic, but I saw this comment that
they will try to cancel WWE. Oh, in a heartbeat.
And of course,
in a heartbeat.
Listen, there was a comment that I saw that someone showed me. I'm not gonna mention who, but they were eating a hamburger. A woman was eating a hamburger on TV on Facebook, and somebody said, "That's disgusting. Why can't you eat with manners?" It's a freaking hamburger.
What you?
Are you kidding me? Like, how freaking sensitive is this world? This comes back to professional wrestling. That people say you can't say mother, you can't. Oh, the blood is terrible. Like, yes, AEW has over-exceeded with the.
I'm not gonna lie, this is ridiculous.
Like, listen, AEW has gone too far with the blood, ridiculous. But it's gonna happen. That's what pro wrestling is about.
I don't think they go too far. I just think they use it too much.
But they use it too much, and they go a little overboard with the cursing. But just dial it down. But still,
it's not supposed to be made for kids. Like, come on now, that's the point.
They tell you viewer discretion is advised. My mouse.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't want your child watching, click TV off. That's it.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along. Vince as the leader of the Ministry of Darkness. That was ridiculous.
That was, yeah.
I thought it was going somewhere. I thought they were actually going to bring somebody in, and it was this Mau.
Yeah, seriously.
But he kept us in. He kept us wired.
He did.
Knowing who was going to be the higher power. And I'm sure when many of you saw who the higher power was, y'all were pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
Like for real? Like,
come on,
what
man.
the hell?
Why? Right,
like,
right,
why?
right.
Like, why?
Him out of all people.
Then you got Stephanie McMahon.
Why, I oughta.
Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie McMahon.
She was just... She was lethal. Like, she slapped the shit out of you, that's for sure. She always slapped everybody.
To keep it fair, she kind of saved John Cena's career.
Oh, she did.
There wouldn't be no John Cena without
her.
There wouldn't be no John Cena without her.
She heard him freestyling, and she gave him a chance. And that's when he's like, oh shit, the doctor of thugonomics was born.
Exactly.
He said her voice was so annoying.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
You're
she sounded
fired.
Oh god, she sounded worse than Vicky Guerrero.
Oh man, it was.
No,
but she kept you wanting more. She kept you wanting more. He said her Stephanie McMahon versus Jericho was awesome. That promos, the promos.
No, those were awesome promos.
Yo, The Rock used to play her. The Rock used to play her crazy with everything he used to say.
He definitely did.
That shit was hilarious. He'd be like a $2 hoe. He called her a $2 hoe on TV.
He did.
He said, and CM Punk told her, she tried to shake his hand, and he said, I would, but I don't know where that hand has been. I'm like, wow, like shots fired.
Didn't say that.
Like, damn.
He
but
really did.
She made it work. Like she made it work because she was this innocent.
She played
girl
with it.
That wasn't really into the business until she started coming along. When she went through that storyline with the Undertaker,
She played
when the Ministry of Darkness
kidnapped her.
And
who saved her again? It was
Stone Cold. Those are the times when Stone Cold came.
Once you heard his glass shattering,
when Jim Ross had said. So he was saying, "Oh, can somebody come out for God's sake?" And you heard the music for God's sake.
Oh my God!
Like he got high. Austin, Stone Cold. Stephanie and Triple H made a great heel duo. Of course they did. The McMahon Helmsley era.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! It was a good time.
I'm not gonna lie. She was.
I enjoyed it here and there, but. It was a little pain in the ass after that.
I'm not gonna lie, this is like modern times, but the Authority one was pretty good too. With Triple H, Randy Orton, I think Big Show, Kane, Stephanie, and Seth Rollins.
But I think that storyline could have went a lot better if Triple H was in charge of it.
I agree.
Because I think with McMahon involved, it went away too quick. What was the purpose of the Authority losing at Survivor Series? And then having them come back.
That was...
Like, what was the point of that?
That was pointless.
That made no sense.
That didn't make any sense.
You know what I mean? So, but Jaden.
Dad.
Before we leave tonight, we have 4 minutes left. Before we leave tonight, I want you, you're the boss. You're the leader. What would you like to discuss about our 4 stars that we mentioned today?
What do you mean we would like to... Well, we basically...
To end our show.
Well, we basically... Okay, so...
Okay, I got one for you. Name your top moment with every single person we mentioned.
Say that too. I was about to say, name your favorite moment with everybody that was on this list. Or you don't gotta do everybody.
Because everybody.
I mean, there's a lot of McMahons though.
It's okay. You name one memory. Just one memory with them. With me, Paul Heyman, it will always be. And this was a shocking moment, and I know he's gonna hate me for saying this. When Paul Heyman was with Brock Lesnar to end the streak at WrestleMania 30 against The Undertaker.
That's a bold statement. You better hope you don't get jumped saying that. You better hope you don't get jumped saying that, man.
Chyna's greatest moment was when she won the Intercontinental title. As a woman, as a female, the breakthrough that she did for females. Bro, I told you. I told you. He said, don't do that, bro. Not for my ass. He probably joking. He probably gonna try to wrestle me in the damn Rumble.
Listen. Padrino Brian, don't get mad. Why is this your favorite moment?
No, not my favorite moment.
You just said
not favorite. Not favorite. No, not favorite. It was my most shocking moment.
Why was this your most shocking moment?
Because I didn't think he was going to do it. I thought, okay, Undertaker was going to win. He was going to stay undefeated in WrestleMania. But he put him over. Said Brock beat The Rock because he was up and coming wrestler. He did. But that was the most shocking moment I ever seen with Paul Heyman. Chyna.
Even Paul Heyman was shocked. He was like, "Oh my God!"
Paul Heyman was it. He knew what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Chyna again, Intercontinental Championship was awesome.
Mine would have to be when she entered the Royal Rumble. It's just the fact that that's set if you look back on it now compared to the times now, since Chyna, there was no Royal Rumble back then for the women, and now there is. Chyna was definitely, I feel like she was one of the reasons why there's a Royal Rumble today.
That's my shocking moment. Brody, no selling Luger.
No selling.
Pretty much, he was ready to kick the shit out of Lex Luger.
I'm not really gonna lie. I think my favorite moments is probably when Bruiser Brody would enter the arena, because it's everybody would have to scatter away from him. Nobody I'm being dead serious. If you're standing there, because he used to whip his chain when he used to walk in.
You're gonna get slumped.
If you were standing there, you were gonna eat a chain to the face.
Exactly.
So everybody had to move away.
I'm gonna read this comment because I'm thinking the exact same thing. Bradley Day says Paul Heyman no selling Luger. Paul Heyman when he joined Roman Reigns, Chyna winning the IC title, and McMahon finally giving up the WWE.
Those are some good ones.
I absolutely agree with you. With Vince McMahon finally giving up WWE, and I'm gonna say why.
Best decision you could have made.
WWE at a point, I would say maybe. Around 2016, it was okay. It was getting good. It was all right. Seth Rollins, The Authority, blah, blah, blah. Then they started just... Why? Because Vince McMahon, the times just started leaving.
Yep.
So...
I feel like it
got bad.
I feel like it really started getting that way to 2018.
No, I say 2020. No, actually 2018. 2018. Yeah, 2018.
In 2018... It wasn't the worst 2018. 2020 was the worst. Yeah. But 2018 was when everything started.
When COVID hit.
Everything started going down.
And then it was just saying.
But then after that, even after that, it got terrible.
Yeah.
I think it finally just got good again, last year.
That's because Triple H took over. But I'm glad.
Started getting good again last year.
I'm glad he gave it up.
Me too.
Because it was just it was not in the cards. Sorry. I wasn't watching WWE.
He couldn't do it anymore.
No.
He ain't have it.
So
it's time for him to go lay down and eat grapes.
Oh, Jaden, send us off.
Oh my goodness. Well, fans, our time is up. We about to go, have a wrestling fight, Dad. I'm about to kick your butt. Nah, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Nah, but for real, thank you guys for tuning into the show today. I hope you guys liked the topic. I am not telling you next.
Danny, you're late, my man. You're late. I told you 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. He comes in now.
Theo Daddy, you bad.
Siempre, freaking Garcia always gotta come late.
Yo.
I swear. Always a Garcia comes late.
You bad late.
Right when we're finishing the show.
It's literally when we finish it.
Holy shit. Anyway, Jaden, tell them about our next topic. February 8th, we're going to be live.
Let me do this, man. February 8th, we are going to be live. And for those who don't know, I'm going to be the one running the show. I'm going to be in charge of the show. This will be my first time. He going to be sharing. He going to be telling the news. I'm just going to be his wingman. I'm going to be doing everything that my dad does. Basically, we're going to be swapping places.
That's right.
And my topic of choice.
And by the way, to put the shout out out there, Jeremy Rivera, thank you for giving us that. Yes. He did message me about it and said, why don't you let him do that? See, change it up a little bit. So
Jeremy Rivera, yeah. So big thanks for Jeremy Rivera for that one.
But yeah, continue.
Oh yeah, but the topic for next. So he's gonna be on the chair to the left. Am I gonna be on the chair?
You're gonna be right here. You're gonna be right here. I'm gonna be over here. You're gonna be right here.
The topic for February 8th is the history of Randy Orton.
Awesome.
We're gonna talk about Randy Orton's history, his background.
Oh, Bradley says I will be there for this.
His background, his his everything about him, everything about Randy Orton. Please, everybody, for the love of God, please share. On Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I hope all of you enjoyed the topic today. I hope you all had a good night.
Also, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
I said YouTube, Dad. I said YouTube.
You don't have to subscribe, man.
Of course.
You said follow. Yeah, I'm passing the torch. Passing the torch over.
Let
the hair loose for that episode. Okay.
Oh, I will. For sure. I will. Without further ado, it is your boy Jay, the heel kid of pro wrestling, and
Lewis, the encyclopedia of pro wrestling. And for my lovely wife and producer, just saying that, thank you for joining us, wrestling fans.
We'll see you guys February 8th.
Ha!